Captain's Log, July 31st, 2026. Hello, I'm Captain Vile. Good on you. You've made it to Friday. I think I mentioned this last episode. Maybe. I certainly mentioned it within the month, but it was like it doesn't feel like a Friday. Yesterday didn't feel like Thursday. It felt like Wednesday. This, kind of in between. I wouldn't say it feels like Thursday, but it certainly feels like Thursday evening, I guess, even though it's Friday evening. Been quite a month. Quite a month. Do have some things to complain about, but I'm complaining for a while in Captain's Log. But got a new computer, got a new graphics card, better than the previous ones. Better than... It's better. It got worse before it got better, and it's better now. So I'll take it. All right. It's tedious as hell getting here, but we're here now, so that's what matters. I can enjoy my summer now. Only took 2 months. Oh well. I will not disclose what it cost, but deciding to, just out of just pure irritation at the heat and just wanting the video to be done, impromptu playing Dark Souls 2 was probably the most expensive mistake I've made. I mean, I'm 20. I'll probably make more expensive mistakes as I get older. Hopefully not, but you can only do so much, right? But at the moment, that's definitely the most expensive one. So thanks, fictional character I made. Yeah, it's Freddy's fault. If you haven't watched the Dark Souls 2 series, that's who I played as. Oh well. Before I get into the movies I watched this week, and movies, multiple, I would like to alter a statement I made last week in regards to the end of Oak Street and Jurassic Park. And it was oh man, why make dinosaur movies if you can't compete with Jurassic Park? And I was like, oh, maybe because the U571. I was like, it's just kind of a worse Das Boot. And you know what? I'm not wrong about it being a worse Das Boot, but I was wrong about saying maybe you shouldn't do it. Because you shouldn't make a movie if you don't think it should be made. But if you are making, say, a dinosaur movie, like End of Oak Street, or hypothetically some other, thing, and you know full well you're going up against, Jurassic Park, not like the recent Jurassic Park endeavors that suck ass. It's going to be full well it's going to be compared to, the greatest dinosaur movie made. And you still soldier on. You're like, no, this story needs to be told. Then you, by God, make it. Because it clearly has passion in it. But if it's just, it's not going to be as good, then make it that good. Alright? If you're going to try and take on a Goliath, swing hard. Alright? Don't give up because it's been done before. Really try it. Try and get it a comparison of ooh, damn, that's a tough one. Best dinosaur movie ever made? New one or Jurassic Park? Gee, that's a nail biter. Put some effort into it. If you should do this with all things you're doing anyhow. But oh well. The point is, I was too dismissive of similar movies. Because multiple movies can be similar, but just because something's come before and you know you're going to get compared to it, don't just give up. Try it. If you go into the movie going, oh, it's going to suck ass, it's not going to be as good, then guess what? It's going to suck ass. Through a straw. So pull out the golden ink and make it perfectly well written or something. I don't know. Only so many ways I can say just try. So I'll move on now. But I wanted to restate that, because I was wrong. Anywho, I watched, for my father's pick this week, Play It Again Sam, 1972. Apparently there's been some remake or something. Specifically that version. And I gave it 4 stars and a heart, and said, funny film. I much preferred the physical comedy to the actual jokes told in this, though some aren't bad. The lighting is amazing, especially when it goes all in on replicating Casablanca. I quite liked the daydreams. As someone who often drifts off, I related to the we're at the supermarket moment of grounding yourself when you realize you're being delusional a little too loud. An enjoyable watch, but it could have aged better. The age better is during the second act. I'm not going to get into the spoilers and what it's about, but they keep making rape jokes, which they could probably not do. I get that he's doing it because he's nervous, but you could just make affair jokes or something. But I did he's got I can't remember the name of the character. Something with a B. But he's got this, he's obsessed with Casablanca, and he's got the main character of that following him around in his head, giving him advice, which I quite like. So I'm not delusional enough to have conversations with, characters or something, but I will kind of, talk to myself as my own characters or other stuff. And I'll realize I'm being a little too loud at work right now, or a little too loud while picking up milk and seeing if is this one going to expire later or sooner. And I'll look around and be like, okay, I don't think anyone heard that, but we're gonna tone it down. And I think that only when he's on a date it comes up with him kind of because I it's in his head. He's not actually talking to the detective. I assume he's a detective. It's a noir. But I think it's just a representation of his thoughts, obviously, is what I was saying in the story. He's not actually, audibly conversing, but I do that. And I have to rein myself in if the, quote, discussion about which milk to get, or, what I should do when I get home, gets a little too loud. So I liked that aspect. That was fun. Now the next one I watched, this was just, I like watching movies. I got some time. I'll watch a movie. Guess what? A show of hands on this show that's pre-recorded, and I don't know what you're gonna do with your hands. Who knows what movie I've been babbling about rewatching for a month? Correct. If you said After Hours. If you said anything else, or, I don't know, I haven't watched other shows, then why did you say that in a room I presume you're alone in? Whatever. But I rewatched After Hours, and I gave it an actual review this time, instead of a quote-unquote funny one-liner review. So instead of saying Chekhov's Firing Squad, I gave the same review as I did last time, 4.5 and a heart, and said, while the start is a bit rocky, when it picks up, it doesn't stop. No scene is wasted. Everything works towards making Hackett's night worse and worse. The music and editing add to the slow spiral as the film builds, and acceptance at the ending. I can't mention events without having to mention events before those events, which lead to that's. And despite the fact I want to mention, my favorite scene in the film is when he's fully spiraled. Is when everything is after him. and he's, "What do you want from me?" And then he like spots the guy just walking down the street minding his business. And he just monologues everything that's happened in the film. He's like, "What's your problem, man? What's going on?" And he just goes, "So I met this girl at a coffee shop, and blah 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 blah, and blah 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 blah, and blah 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 blah." And I wish, I love the movie, but I would have loved it a bit more if there was like a producer's betrayed, where they go through every song up till that point, where because it like cuts and fades through the monologue, because it would have been maybe like a 5 minute monologue. I would have loved if he straight up just explained everything that had happened. And you may be thinking, well, that would have been a bit repetitive because we've seen what's happened, but I want to hear his, like, how Paul Hackett feels about each one, because he gets to display his personality in that. I mean, obviously he's done that for the whole film, but that's the key moment where he's like, "This is just, it's not fair!" And I quite liked it. I wish it was longer. Another aspect, this is all if you've like seen the film, which if you haven't, go watch it. If you ask me, it's Martin Scorsese's best movie, even though it's pretty overshadowed by like his more famous movies. That's what overshadowed means, Einstein. But I like it. It is one of my favorite films. I love how circular it is. Because it was on our call, we were talking about how someone had edited 4 hours of the Evil Dead trilogy to be just Ash's worst 72 hours of his life. And how it could be edited similar to After Hours, where it starts or it ends how it starts, with him clocking off his shift and him clocking back on at the very end. But so a huge the snowflake that turns into the snowball that turns into the avalanche in this is him losing $20. And then he steals $20 from an artist's statue. And something my father and I disagree on is whether or not he stole the $20. But while rewatching this, my father was right. He stole the $20. I argued that because of the circular nature of the film, that was his $20 that she'd somehow found. But it is a decently pristine $20 bill on the statue that he takes, whereas the $20 bill he loses in the cab, it lands in the wet New York street, so it would have been ruined. So no, that's a different. I think it should have been a different bill or the same bill, but it is a different bill. So I guess that does add to his biggest defense against the mob. And again, if you haven't seen this movie, you're not going to have a single idea what I'm talking about. But his biggest defense against the mob is that he's not a thief. But he is. Because, and again, he also, to quote him from talking to the bartender, the last thing I'd want to do was rip somebody off or, steal from someone. And he stole the shirt that he's wearing while talking to the guy. And he stole $20. So his biggest defense falls completely flat if you interrogate him even a little. So I quite liked that. But at the same time, if, you'd have to be omnipotent to know he's not at fault. But even if you're, within the setting, you're still going to blame him. So I just like it. It's very tightly written. And it's quite nice. Another thing I've noticed while doing this is Paul Hackett probably influenced Diamond Eye a little. Because he's, not in, personality-wise. I think in just design-wise, because he's disheveled and wearing a white suit that's, stained from the street. And that's how D typically ends up. Because something's going to happen in, Diamond Eye and Kevin and various other, shorts the characters have, is because Diamond Eye is wearing a white suit. It's typically gets stained, because the part of that aspect of his design as he's a con artist, but he's not a great con artist. So anything he says is going to be put under scrutiny. So, and anything that like he isn't aware of, say like the outside environment, is going to diminish, is going to like destroy his story. So it's going to be like a stain on his story. So it's a stain on him. He wears white, it stains the easiest because he's a con man whose lies fall flat. And that's probably where I got that for his character or his design. So you can thank After Hours for D wearing a white suit, I guess. If he wears a black shirt, but if he was wearing a red shirt under his cream suit, it would have been like D's exact outfit. So it's fun. All right. I changed my wallpaper because I got a new computer. It was previously concept art for Batman Returns. It was the Frozen Parkscape. Nice snowy environment, but I've now changed it to an Ivan Ofsky painting, I believe. I know it's certainly Ivan is his first name. I can't remember his last name because it's complicated. But excuse me while I go confirm that, because I do like his paintings. Ivan Aviosky. Aviosky. He's got a lot of oceanscape paintings, and the water is just beautiful. Wonderful lighting in them. But I've currently got... Let's see, I can probably pull up the exact name of this piece. It is simply called Sunset. But it's quite nice. Kind of a teal, aquamarine sky. With a brigantine on the water. You can't quite, like, drag and select... because it's like cut off. I wish you could do that with wallpaper. Maybe you can in like specific softwares, but I've just got like the Windows, just make this image my wallpaper, put it to fill, and it did it. It'd be nice if you could like just scroll, resize it or something, like checking a profile picture or banner or some crap like that. But I can't. So, oh well. I think it still captures the piece well. It's got the sky, which is the main thing. Which is quite nice. I apologize for the pauses. I'm just deciding if I want to complain about coworkers again, because I've been doing that for like the past 4 shows, I think. So I want to do that for another one. It's not that long of a complaint. It's mainly just a coworker sucking up to a manager, which is how I think he's like not been fired, because he sucked at his job. It's Frankenstein, by the way. It's always Frankenstein. I hate that guy. He's so annoying. But now I know why he still has his job. He's a kiss-ass. Kiss-ass who sucks ass at his job and makes me do all the work and then just takes credit for it. I don't know how you would do that in a restaurant. They can, whatever. I mean, the food goes out all the same. It doesn't really matter who made it. But it's just annoying. One time, we were in, like, a rush. And... like, we had to get some help with some orders from a manager. And he says, verbatim, "Thank you so much for saving us." And it's like, okay, pal. Calm down. It's the dinner rush, alright? He didn't pull you from wreckages. He just, like, we just needed someone to go from the back and get some items. If I'd have gone to do that, we just needed an extra set of hands. And it's, oh, thank you so much for saving us. Shut up. I hate him so much. I'm going to stop talking about him now. But yeah, no, he's still annoying me. Alright. It's kind of cooling down. It's not as hot. It's still pretty goddamn hot. Another thing that's annoying. I think this is a Windows 11 thing. Like I'm on Windows 11 now. I've been on Windows 10 for so long, and they're cutting it in October, so I figured I gotta change anyhow. But my mic is different, so it's just yeah. It's not worse. It's just different. It's kind of a little. I think it's a little echoey. But I've looked in OBS settings. It's not like anything with the gain or. It's picking my mic up differently. Maybe I could get a new mic, but I don't really want to. I'm fine with just the headset for now. I feel like that'd clutter up my desk as well. I'd have to like move it aside anytime I want to draw, or I'd either have to move it aside anytime I want to draw, or I'd have to move it into place anytime I want to record. Which I guess I record less than I draw. But it's still just the extra factor. And I mean, yeah, that's lazy. But it's convenient now. You hear that? It's just just slide it down. I don't have this like cumbersome object I could like pick up and place down. And again, yeah, lazy, whatever. I don't even know if that would sound that much different. I probably would sound better. Like it's an actual microphone, not my headset. But eh. Probably not going to get it anytime soon. I'm content with this how it is now. It's just irritating. Because it's different, and there's no real explanation for why it's different. It's just different. I can handle change. I cannot handle unexplicable change. I always hate that. I always, way back when, during, like, I changed, like, channel small stuff, I would include this, like, paragraph of, like, why I changed something. Because, like, I would hate... I'd hate it when companies did this, like, UI thing. They have developers just they, like, round the edges, and then they'll, like, harden the edges in a new update, and it's just because they need something to do. It's just an excuse to keep them on board. And it's so irritating, because there's no explanation as to, like, oh, it just felt like, and it's so annoying. So I'd always write out, like, oh, I'm changing it, this is the channel trailer now because it feels like this, or it does that. And it would also do, like, oh, this is the profile picture or something, some blah, 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 blah. I don't think I have the patience to do that now. Like, I got rid of the channel trailer. The reason I got rid of the channel trailer is because every time I would go onto the channel to check something or do something, it would play for me. Every single time. You can go back on previous Captain's logs and you can, like, hear it and hear me complain about it. Because it's something I love to do. I'll even now, like, all my problems are solved. Well, all my problems are solved. But, like, something I've been complaining about for months is now gone, and I'm still complaining. I'm never gonna stop complaining. That's just who I am. I'll never be fully satisfied, always. This water, that left a stain. I'm hot and I get something to drink and the condensation stained my mouse pad. Or it's this or that. It's just something I always will do. And I'm complaining about it now. And I mean, you could say, oh, Captain, you can either cheer up or you can keep it to yourself, but because those are the only options. I'm not gonna, like, I can't change my perspective and not be annoyed by something. I can just not be annoying by being annoyed by something. Not sure what else to talk about. I did a whole setup. Because I played with my friends today. I played Super Battle Golf with them, this golf game with weapons. It's basically like that Mario. That's something I could talk about, switches. But I played that with them. So I had to cut the session short. Well, I mean, we all let it go, but, like, I made it known I had to leave it, like, for their time, 8 or 8:20. Or 2, or whatever. I had to leave early is what the point. but I had like dinner early because I had to play with them, and I had to leave with them to record this. So there's a bunch of setup that goes up, and now once I'm actually down recording, it's eh. I think I could talk about comics. Okay, I just said I was just gonna talk about Switches. So I'll put a pin in talking about comics because I've made a decision, an executive decision about that. Anyway, so Switch games I could play. I've been teasing Breath of the Wild, and I'm like streaming Saturday. I'm gonna play Outlast Trials on my fancy new pewter, which can handle the full graphics. And maybe after a bit of that, probably not going to be too long. I'll play like one main trial and then a bit of escalation, which should be. I'll play a main trial, and then I'll play escalation until I die, or 2 rounds of escalation, whichever comes first, because the escalation can take a while. And then if there's time or I feel up to it, I'll play Breath of the Wild. I would hang on. I'd like to have a sip of water. I'm a little parched. That was a little more than the sip, but I was a little more than parched. Excuse me. But there are some Switch games I could play. And that's what reminded me of the Mario Tennis Aces, which my brother got for his birthday, which I always thought was such a weird gift. But it was a fun game to play. Specifically because I have, like, Mii characters. And there's one I've been wanting to show off for a while that I couldn't because we never play any, like, Mii games. Because obviously I don't want to play Switch games. And I always pick, like, Captain Vile in turn, as usernames in other games. But there's this Mii character I have whose entire gimmick is that he, like, shows up out of nowhere. And his name, I only use him in games where they, like, say your name regularly, especially when they're, like, describing you. And I say this with Mario Tennis Aces because the announcer uses your username, and there's no censor for it. So his name is Some Asshole. So if we play Mario Tennis Aces, it'd be like, some assholes on the green. So it sounds like someone has, like, run onto the course with a club and is, like, attacking the players. Like, some assholes, like, hit Wario. Some asshole unlocked their super. Some asshole got a birdie. And I've wanted to play some Mii games so I could utilize it. So maybe I'll do it later. But that's something I've wanted to do for a while. In terms of other Mii games, I don't know, just like Switch games, a lot of them I think would only kind of work in live streams, because I've been wanting to live stream more. It's just tiring. But I've wanted to do, like, playthroughs of games I wouldn't normally be able to play, like Yakuza, or just, like, one-offs like Trench Face, or there's this like RPG kind of thing. Similar to Look Outside, but like Eastern European and medieval times. But it's... Anyway. Not sure what else I could play. Like, playthrough normally on a channel. What is there? I can't think of anything. Oh well. I can play it like Mario, I don't know. It's... Another reason I don't do it is because it's like Mario games. I feel like I could do a playthrough of, like, Luigi's Mansion free. But I don't think I'd want to do a play... Like, it's just an adult playing, like, kids game alone. I'd need to do, like, an Oni Plays kind of thing, where I'd have, like, Cindy on the call, and we're, like, either both playing it or both talking to each other while I play it. And I'll probably do something like that with a few games. Because, I don't know, but it's... it would just... I feel uncomfortable just playing Luigi's Mansion alone in a dark room. And just, like, I know I'm recording, but it would just feel weird. So I'm not going to do that. No, I would only do that with someone else. But comics. I have decided I do, in fact, want to do stuff with Diamond Eye and Kevin and Upname and others outside of just animation. So I'll make, like, a short comic that I don't really know where I'll place on the timeline, because I do have one set up, but it's about Diamond Eye and Kevin in a court or something. Pretty basic. See if I can do like 23 pages of just panels. But it's nothing. I'm not gonna like cease production on like Trip to Las Vegas to start on this. No, don't worry. I'll probably like work on this when I've got like a free day or something. I gotta get off work. Like I'm whatever. Point is, I want to do more with their characters than just things that take a lot of time. I mean, comics still take some time, but not as much as animation, let me tell you. Oh well. But it's nice to be able to do stuff with them, because they're cool characters. I like them. I wouldn't have made them if I didn't. It's fun to draw Kevin's stupid like monkey face. He's got like a Donkey Kong kind of eyebrow, which is fun to do expressions with. And D's like tiny, can do poses. They're fun to draw. That's why I made them. And now I can draw them even more. But I'm bummed. Isn't that cool? But I like it's like a, I don't know, probably world building. Who knows? Me, I know. I'm the guy writing it. I sure hope I'd know. Alright. Anything else on stream? Mentioning anything else I could do on stream? I don't know. I'm getting back into the bets. I've taken somewhat of a break from that. It's mainly just I've sorted it out now. But just editing that like handshake moment, it's the counter. I've now made a standard template so I can do them easier, but that was always tedious as hell to do previously. But now it's a lot easier, so I'll probably do a lot more of them. And there are more coming in. There's a lot more for dating simulators, so thanks, guys. Really appreciate those. Really appreciate having to play those. Grand time with some of these. And other ones I've just been sitting on. Like, there's a... Back when we played Idols of Ash, there was another one from, if memory serves, John Oldman, like really Oldman. So there's one of that I still have to edit that I'll probably send out soon. No, not probably. I will, in fact, send it out soon, since I'm getting to them. But I've had that just in my files for months, and I just never uploaded it, or never added like the extra thing, because they're pretty easy to edit. It's the ending that's difficult to edit because of the animation. But I never cut because that would be cheating, or I never cut because I could cheat. So it's to prove it's 100% legit. Oh well. Kind of funny that, like, how many episodes into Look Outside are we? I think we're like 2 or 3. I think we can't be more than 2. It can't be more than 2. Probably is just straight up 2. Hang on. No, I'm mistaken. It's free. It is free episodes. Going on 4 tomorrow. But it's kind of funny that we like started that, and then I got my old computer back, and now we can play The Forest. Like, OBS isn't gonna lag anymore. But I'm not cutting Look Outside. This game is really fun. It's the first, like, I don't really want to... kind of like Final Fantasy party builder RPGs I've ever played. And it's cool. It's cool to play new stuff. I often do... I typically do, like, third person or, like, 2D Metroidvania, stuff like that. You can look through the channel and see what I play. Yeah, this is the first of its kind. And it's pretty cool. I mean, Kingdom Hearts was the first JRPG I ever played, and I got, like, hooked on that. I played I still think it's funny how it started off as a bet penalty, and I think I was gonna keep it like that. Like I would do like another bet for I think Chain of Memories, and then I was like, nah, I just want to play it. I'm just gonna put it in the vote. Like I just enjoyed the series enough that I'm just willingly playing it now because it's a fun series. It's nice leveling up. I think that's part of it. I mean, I definitely like exploring the apartment and look outside. Like I explored further into like the rat hole off screen while trying to fight enough enemies to save the game. And I did find some stuff that I didn't put in like the insert if anything crazy happens here segment. Like there's an overgrown apartment full of like flowers and stuff, and that was pretty cool. It's cool to explore it. It's I don't know. I mean, Kingdom Hearts 2 isn't like I've never played any of them before. I don't know what happens in any of them. I think it's just because of in Kingdom Hearts. I mean, like we're going to new worlds. Like we're in like Mulan and we're in like Pirates of the Caribbean. I think it's just they do a lot of backtracking. I don't blame the series. If you got the assets, you can use them. I mean, that's what like Chain of Memories was. That was probably really easy to make. I mean, it was originally like a DS game, so I guess it's not that. But it still wasn't as strenuous. But it's. I think you just visit a lot of the old locations a lot. Like I really get into it when they do their original places. Like the Hollow Bastion and that like Dark World at the very end. So when it's and I prefer those to the Disney worlds. Like I just said, I really get into it when I do that. So it's quite nice. I don't know. Maybe I'll play through a more RPG party builder, like Final Fantasy. I just said Final Fantasy. I haven't played any of the Final Fantasy games. I don't think I would. I honestly don't think I would enjoy the recent Final Fantasy ones, like the remake. I think I would. Like probably prefer the pixel art, like I don't even know what console, but just like the first ones, the first couple handfuls where you could go in like an airship and you're flying around. It's interesting to just play a new type of game that I've never tried before. Pretty novel, I quite like it. I can see why this kind of game has been around for literal decades now. It's it stood the test of time. This is really something. It's Captain. It's a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Like everyone knows it's good. Why are you acting surprised? Like I didn't know it was good. That's actually something about me. I never had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I was always peanut butter and honey. Because my great-great-grandfather was peanut butter and honey, and my mother was that, and then she passed it on to me. So, everyone in the cafeteria at like every school where they interacted with me enough to learn about my lunches was like, what's that smell? Why are you eating honey? And it's like, oh, it's like a peanut butter and jelly, but it's honey. It's sweeter. It tastes better. It's nice. Well, I mean, I told them that I didn't have a frame of reference. I was just getting defensive because they were questioning why I was eating honey. But I still eat them now. They're good. And they probably last a while. I mean, I go for peanut butter pretty quickly. But honey lasts for weeks. Because I just do like a quick, just drizzle on it. So who's laughing now? Becky. You laugh at my sandwich. Yeah, your sandwich is more expensive than mine in the long run. All right. Have some more water. Anything else I can talk about? Other than streaming, I don't know. I think I probably will commit to that one stream a month thing. Because it's been, how long was it since the last stream? What was the last stream? It was like the 4-year anniversary. No, it was a 4-year anniversary and then doing demos, which was a month ago, so maybe the pattern's already holding now. Maybe I'll... Because if I do play Breath of the Wild, it's definitely going to be on stream only. It's not going to be like a recording. Because it's a game where you just, like, I want to do this, or no, I want to do a shrine now, or what's up that mountain. Even though I've got, like, 200 hours in Breath of the Wild. Like, when I got that, I played it for so much. I 100%ed it so many times. I also... just weirdly thinking how much time I spent on the Switch of, like, games I play now. Because I got Dark Souls originally on the Switch. And I played through just so many different kinds of just challenge runs. And this was all in the living room. And I'm now just thinking back to, like I played Skyrim on the Switch for the first time. And it specifically being on the Switch led to a funny anecdote of I was playing the Dark Brotherhood quest. And this is like at the very end when you've like gotten the fortress yourself. You've like, and there's like people in the basement, and they're like chained up prisoners or something. So I had just basically maxed out stealth, and now I was going into magic. I was going into like the Winterhold thing. Whatever. I was doing the Wizard Guild now, so I was leveling up magic. So I was like, oh, you level up destruction by dealing damage. You level up magic by healing. But it's not necessarily healing yourself. So I went into the basement, or like the dungeon, of the Brotherhood Guild, and I got one of the prisoners, and I put like a basic destruction spell in my left hand, and a basic healing spell in my right hand. So I was like killing them and keeping them alive, and then I like duct taped the bumpers down, and I like went off to do my homework. But, like, this is in the living room. So my dad just, like, I don't remember what he was doing, but I think he wanted to go check on me, unrelated to this. But because mine and my brother's room is, like, in between the living room and the kitchen, he, like, walked by the living room and saw this, like, woman burning alive and being healed by like, a controller puppeted by duct tape. And walked in and was like, what are you doing? What's happening in the living room? I was like, oh, I'm multitasking. So I wouldn't have gotten that if I just did it on, like, my computer or something. Did I have a computer? I had a computer back then. Because originally I just used the family computer that I just had an account on. But, like, I played Undertale for the first time on the family. I played Undertale, BattleBlock Theater. Let's see what else. Pulling up Steam now. Undertale, Cuphead, and BattleBlock Theater, all within the family computer, which is located within the living room. So it was possible for me to, like... I was, like, losing to, like, Dr. Call, and I was just, like, trying not to swear because my mother is, like, behind me, like, baking or something. Or I was fighting, like... what is it, like, Omega Flower? The Photoshop in the pacifist room, the big TV flower. I was fighting that for like an hour. And it's just in the kitchen. Which, think of it, is a weird spot for the family computer, but whatever. Oh well. See, I'll probably stick to streaming more. Since it's fun, it's just very tiring. And it's also, I gotta pick up something, like, worth streaming. I'm not just gonna... Like, streams are not just gonna be, like, multiple captain's logs or Q&As. Even though those are my favorite subjects, because they're about me. But oh well. I'm watching more movies in August, because I'm going to see all those Wile E. Coyote, End of Oak Street. What was the other one? There was the third one. It was... God damn, what was it? I can't think of it now. Acme vs. Coyote. End of Oak Street. Resident Evil. Yes, and also I gotta watch the original Resident Evil movies that were primarily based on the games. It's got nothing to do with this Resident Evil movie. It's completely different. I still just want to watch them. And there's 6 and a standalone. So there's 7. I'll probably just watch the 6 and leave out the standalone. I've heard they're all kind of bad. But I still, hey, maybe I've been watching too many good movies lately. I mean, I did rewatch After Hours. I think that's... Maybe I've had it a little too good in the viewing movies department for a little too long. It's been far too long since I've watched a movie or I went away thinking, wow, that sucked ass. I hated that. When was the last movie I genuinely hated? I think it was, Into the Earth. Hang on. Pull out Letterboxd again. We gotta figure this out. What movie did I think absolutely stunk recently? Because I've been giving, hearts to all of the ones I've watched of late. So it was Belladonna of Sadness, because it is just not subtle at all, but it's beautifully animated. Subway, but I mean that's just there's no substance, it's just style. The Ice Pirates. Oh yeah, that is a pile of garbage. That is an example of, this is a callback to this recording. That is an example of just a cheap cash grab. That was not made because it needed to be made. That was made because Star Wars was popular. That is not someone who is wanting to go up against Star Wars and be the better space movie. That is someone who wanted to trick. That is someone who is your grandparents are taking you to the movies, and they're like, "Oh, Billy wants to watch that space movie. What was it called? The Wars, the Star? It's the Ice Pirates, right? Yes, this must be the right picture. I'll take him to see this." That's what they wanted. They didn't want anyone to like the movie. They wanted people to buy tickets. They could give a damn if you bought the ticket and pulled out a lighter and destroyed the thing, as long as they got paid. But no, not Hundreds of Beavers, which I watched after this. That is a movie made with passion because it is funny and well made. And then there's The Bride, which was iffy. That was just, I don't know, the weird tones. Yeah. And then before that, it was, In the Earth, which is also another just kind of the tone is really weird and the acting is really bad. So these are all months ago. So I think it is my responsibility as someone who loves movies to watch movies that absolutely suck ass, so that I have a good frame of reference on how bad cinema can be. So that way I appreciate the good movies even more. Anywho, I do think I am now out of things to say. I could probably go on a little longer. I'd probably complain a little bit more about... Oh, I did have to set up my computer. I've got a complaint about landlines and phones and customer support, but I've got I did a specific video, Captain's Complaints, that I'll probably edit. But I want to say that my main complaint was that it's just hotlines. But I was able to get through, and I was able to set up my computer, and it was a goddamn, so I had to plug in my PC's PCIe cable, which I had to find. I had to plug it into my new graphics card, and I had to find it. So I had to open up the panel, and there's this just viper's nest of, everything else in the PC was, neat and orderly. And then you open this back panel, and it's just a snake pit. It's just tangled up, and they're all the same color. I don't know where they're originating from. So it's just you find a loose end, and you like pull. You find a loose end. You flip a coin to go to start digging left or start digging right to see if you're gonna end up with the end of it or where it like originates within the computer, which you can't even like get to from like the small openings, which is if you waste your time or not. So I dig through that, find the PCP cable, PCIP, the power cable for the graphics card. I find that because I called the support hotline, and a guy with the patience of an angel picked up and walked me through exactly what I needed to do. I didn't want to waste his time and have him on the line while I was doing that, even though I really should have done that. But I had him explain what I needed to do, and then I just repeated it over and over again. So I was just sitting in my room, crouched over my computer, with like pliers to open the damn thing, just repeating instructions over and over like a mantra to try and find the right cable, and I did, and it works now. So that's why you should call places, and that's why places should be available to be called. Not like CEX or Curry's, who suck ass with customer support. And I called them out in name in the video I haven't uploaded yet, complaining about phones. So whatever. I could probably do a prank call. I think I wonder if I would be good at prank calls, since I'm just so good at just talking endlessly. It depends on what your goal is. Because if your goal is to be funny, I can kind of succeed with that. I mean, I can like tell jokes and whatnot, but it's like, do you want like a waste 5 seconds, is your refrigerator running? Or do you want like you can take up 10 minutes of this person's time with just a stupid question that goes nowhere? You just lead the conversation in circles. Because if you can do that, it'll become funnier. Because that's like if you do something stupid for a joke, if you keep doing it, part of the joke becomes how long it's been going on. Like Playtime of Jacques Tati, half the jokes are just this guy is in one end of a hallway and it takes him 2 minutes to walk down it. It gets irritating at like a minute, and then it gets to a minute 30, and it's hilarious because he's still walking. It got annoying, but now just the sheer absurdity is setting in, and it overpowers how irritating it is, and it's just genius. And that would be how it, like, if you want to do a prank call, if you just take up as much time as possible. What would you do? I mean, like I just said, I can just go on endlessly, so probably just pretend to be an old person and just keep asking the same question. Or go on tangents and don't let them get a word in. You could explain why you're calling, and it could be like, oh, the wife wanted this, and because she wants this, because our nephew is blah, 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 and just don't let them say, sir, I'm sorry to interrupt. And it's, oh, it's you kids these days, always so. You could just keep doing that. And it could, you could say, Captain, come on, that's cruel. You're, like, the employees haven't done anything to you. They're not the ones who set up the hotline instead of having a phone within the store. Why are you doing that? And my answer to that is it's a prank call. Alright? A prank is a joke at someone else's expense. That's the whole point. That's why it's funny. Oh well, I'd probably be pretty good at that kind of prank call. I don't think I'd ever do that. Maybe I would if I get annoyed enough one time. If I have to go through one more customer service hotline that's like automated because they don't have a phone at that location, I would do it to the employee or something. Even though it's not their fault, but guess what? They're the only outlet I have. I can't call the CEO. I have written letters to CEOs before. I've gotten nothing in return though. And it just cost me money because of the stamps. Stamps are expensive. Well, they're kind of expensive. I feel like they are. I've only read to buy stamps once. Maybe it's because I bought a bunch of stamps at once. I think I just bought stamps in bulk, and that's why it was so expensive. Because I haven't bought stamps in a while. I haven't written that many irritated letters in a while. I don't think I got a response from that company because it was so like the paper was dripping with venom. I was pissed off. Why was I pissed off? I think I've mentioned this before. I got like splashed on a walk home, and it was like a company truck, and I like burned the company truck like logo into my mind and looked them up, and I like did like a personal insult, like you've. And on top of all of these services you supply here, you've left one out. Impromptu cleaning because you splashed me with rainwater. So I just wrote that out. So maybe I am small enough, um, just emotionally, to prank call a company pissed off. Maybe one day I'll get worse. Anyway, thank you for watching, and good while.
Stay tuned to Gotham FM.